you sure? How do I know it's really you? Are you aliens?
Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be doing a full test and review of my 96-hour blackout grid down survival kit. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new episodes or our daily giveaways. Additionally, make sure you hit that notification button so you don't miss anything. Also, we have a new round of our Amazon gift card giveaways, and to enter, you need to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. We also pick winners in the very next episode, so if you enter on this particular giveaway, you'll find out who the winner is on the very next episode. For those of you who follow our channel regularly, you know that we get a lot of subscription services in, and above all of them, there are two we like the most. So we decided to try to take some items from survival boxes and battle box, more specifically survival boxes, because this month their theme was blackout grid down survival. Now, for those of you guys who do not know who survival boxes is, they are a multi-platform subscription service. What I mean by that, they have 3 different platforms that you can choose from, which is the Alpha, the Bravo, and the Gear Only. And depending on what your needs are, they have some very budget-friendly packages and kits every single month that have a tremendous value. But this particular month was blackout and grid down survival. So that gave us a really cool idea to try to build a 4-day, 96-hour bare bones essentials kit. Now, this doesn't account for things like your clothing, personal morale items, first aid, self-defense, things like that. These are basically tools, gear, food, and things like that, and communication to keep yourself moving, mobile, seek help. Because of the fact that I have never ever seen a subscription service give you absolutely everything you needed, we decided to add a couple items into this kit that weren't from a subscription service, like our axe and our folding saw, as well as the gravity bag. Other than that, every single item that is on this table came from a subscription service. And all in all, we wanted to see how it would fare in a basic survival situation, basically just keeping yourself alive. Now, the reason why you don't see any hunting or trapping gear, because in a short-term situation, we feel that it's just more important to be able to keep yourself hydrated, keep yourself fed, keep yourself energized, and keep yourself moving, more so than trying to figure out how to live off the wilderness and instantly become Bear Grylls. In the very back, to start out with, this is the big, huge backpack that you guys saw in Mission 34 in Battle Box. It is a huge backpack, but it's a very versatile backpack. It's really big. I want to say it's like 55 or 60 liters. It can hold a lot of cool stuff. Like, even if you have a bigger hatchet or axe bigger than this, like you have the Grand Forest Brook Small Forest axe, basically a 19-20-inch handle, it will actually fit in that particular bag. And it'll definitely give you the room you need to be able to pack extra things like clothes, first aid kits, self-defense, any other items you would want to use to fill your kit. The most important thing, other than an ability to carry your gear if you find yourself in a mobile situation, is an ability to have some shelter. So we did use the actual hammock that we got in the most recent battle box, Mission 35 Jungle Survival. That thing is pretty banging because, one, it's super duper freaking cheap, but it already comes with a bug net. So if you're in an area where bugs, mosquitoes, humidity, hot weather, just really nasty environments are a thing, you actually have some semi-protection from those types of elements off the rip. Next is communication. Now, a lot of people would use their cell phone, but what happens, like I said, we're in a blackout grid down situation. This is an alternative to try to see if you can reach out to any people who have any plantations, lands, ranches. Maybe you get close enough to home at the 3rd or 4th day. You can try to reach your spouse who would be on the other end of the line if the cell phones are down. But that one is actually the Baofeng UV-5X3. And that is an awesome freaking walkie-talkie due to the fact that it's got wicked range, but it also gives you the ability to have FM radio, you have some weather stations, you have an emergency alarm. You can actually use it as a signaling device if you find yourself injured and in distress. It is an all-around pretty awesome freaking tool.
Mayday, mayday, is anyone out there? Is anyone on any frequency?
Next is hydration. So we decided to go with this because it's a really convenient solution. This is the GoFlow 10-liter hydration water bag. You saw this in a review we did recently, and that is freaking amazing. You can go to pretty much any water source and connect the hose to the VersaFlow water filter that is actually made by Hydro Blue, same exact company. And you can use that to have clean flowing drinking water. But what makes that so important is the fact that you can go to the water source once and you can keep yourself in a situation where you can pretty much stay at base camp all day and you have a full 10 liters of water to boil, drink, do whatever you gotta do to keep yourself motivated going and keep those fluids in your system. Well, next you need a light source. Light is very, very important. It's good so you can see your way in the dark. You can signal for help if you need to, but it also provides a layer of security. Now, this is not the first option we would choose, but this, because it came in the actual kit, we decided to use it. This is the Lumen Aid Max. This is pretty awesome because let's say you run into a situation the first couple of days, your cell phone is down, there is no communications, but you move out of the area, get yourself closer to home, you actually can try to charge your cell phone. There's a cell phone charger in here, which is pretty freaking rad, and it's solar powered, so it has some versatility in the fact that it takes 12 to 14 hours to fully charge. You blow this up kind of like a inner tube in a swimming pool, and it fills up with air, and you have a pretty solid freaking lamp. It's got several modes. It's got high, medium, low, and kind of a night mode, and then it has a blinking mode, like I said, for emergency signaling. Cooking, eating, and fire are really, really important, so we decided to take the UST Trekker. It is a butane lighter. This thing is amazing. It has a pop top. It works really, really well. It's gonna be really hard to see the flames because they're a very bright blue flame. But we decided to use the Esbit fuel cubes because these things last for like 20 minutes while you're cooking your food, and we use the provided stove that they brought in this kit. And I like the fact that the grid down kit basically gave you an entire camp kitchen, which is pretty cool. We have these utensils that came from Marbles. It's kind of like a multi-tool. It's got a knife, an awl, some bottle openers, can openers, things like that, everything you need. You have another P51 can opener with a spork put in there, but you actually get 8 of those fuel cubes, which will last you quite a long time. You only need 1 to actually cook a full meal because it does last so long. You can put a little bit of tinder, some twigs in there to kind of fluff it up, keep it going, create some more heat. And then they actually gave you the Ultimate Survival Technologies pot. This only holds 16 ounces of water, but for these single mountain house meals, it's absolutely perfect. And we decided to basically take the Bravo box all in its entirety to give us 3 separate meals for breakfast, 2 for dinner, and then some emergency food in the very first day. So that all in all will give us 96 hours of food. Well, this essentially would not be DropForgedSurvival without a knife. And this is actually the Tops Brothers of Bushcraft knife we got in Mission 34 of Battle Box. This thing is freaking wicked. The Tops knives are just top-notch. USA made blades. This is 1095 head carbon steel with the micarta, the brown Cerakote. Like I said, for those who watched Mission 34, you saw this. This is a perfect knife. You have an ability to have some self-defense. You can do some medium to light duty tasks, which is really important. But we do not want this to go unnoticed is the sheath. This sheath was made from one of our subscribers. This is the Survival Smith. He makes custom Kydex sheaths. He hooked us up with a sweet freaking rig. This is actually called Blurred Camo. It's a new Kydex pattern. And this is rocking a 3/8 inch Bayite ferro rod, which the Bayite ones, we all know they're very awesome, budget friendly, like $10 ones. He put some custom tiger striped burl wood handle on there. It's really, really nice. This thing throws a lot of freaking sparks. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, you saw the knife, and I decided to try something that I've never actually done before because I'm a very big advocate of, I like really big knives. I'd rather have like a really, really big knife like the Silky Nada, the Tarava Skrama, and a folding saw, and that's it. Well, I decided to go the route of right tool for the right job, like I said. So I checked out, this is the Almica by Hulksbrook. This is a Swedish made axe. This axe is freaking wicked. And this little 16-inch long little beauty filled my life with glory and literally made me a believer. I have never been able to split wood so effectively in my life with such a small tool. I did not think I was going to be able to do it because, as you guys know, if you live in Texas, have family in Texas, live oak is a scary hard wood to try to get through. It is a beast. It is unforgiving. It is relentless. And the Hulksbrook, when we were using it to delimb the tree, when we were using it in conjunction with the silky saw, it was blasting through the wood. I have never gone through processing wood correctly so efficiently in my entire life. I literally have to eat my words on this and saying bringing a really good size hatchet of your personal preference, where it's like a 14-inch, 16-inch, or a 20-inch axe, a really good knife, and a saw. That trifecta right there is absolutely mind-blowingly amazing. I've got to say that if you do not own a Hulksbrook, I'll definitely drop a link in the video description, but we're also going to drop a lot of budget-friendly options we believe would fit the bill as well if you're not able to drop 130 bucks on an axe. Last but not least is my folding saw. And this is the Silky Big Boy 2000. I'm sure everyone in the world could recognize this right off the bat. And this is my absolute favorite folding saw for a variety of reasons. One, it's priced for the size. This is a 14.2-inch bladed saw. It's about 50 bucks on Amazon. You can get it all day. But it'll allow you to basically cut down small freaking trees. Now, if you have to be on a budget, you won't be able to cut down the really, really big stuff, but for about 20 bucks, or aka $19, you can pick up the Corona folding saw, which is 10-inch rated 2 saw, which works really, really, really well. Those are pretty much my top 2 picks because basically the Baco Laplander is trash. And I'm actually not here to bash your product. I'm just saying that to mess with the guys who were trying to defend it in the last video. But all in all, like I said when I was talking about my hatchet, these two tools in conjunction are absolutely amazing. And for those of you who are brand new to processing wood and getting into the outdoors and creating a bug out bag and all that stuff, this is not for the veterans in any way, shape, or form, so you guys can just tune out because you already know. Basically, what you want to do is take your folding saw, you're going to slice down your tree very effectively. You'll knock through most trees that this thing can take down in about 30 seconds. Then what you do is you use your Hulksbrook or your axe, your hatchet or whatever, and start delimbing. That's what it's going to be good for, because it's going to be able to take things down pretty decisively in 1 or 2 really foul swoops all the way down the line. Then once you have that length, bring it over to your base camp. Then what you do is you actually take your silky saw, cut it into its appropriate lengths for your cords for firewood, get your bundles ready to go, and then you bring back the axe for the final round, which is going to do all the nasty splitting. And if you basically hit this with one good center decisive stroke, you have really good aim, it's going to start jamming through those cords of wood. Just really, really disgusting. Now, if you're going to be using a bigger saw like a Katana Boy, I'd suggest you get something bigger like the Anabi, the Small Forest Axe, the Kisa. You're going to want something bigger. So, you know, your saw and your axe need to be kind of appropriately ratioed for the size wood you plan on actually trying to break down and process. All in all, this is our bare bones kind of essentials 96-hour blackout grid down survival kit. Like I said, this does not cover everything. There are going to be some very subjective and personal items like clothing, self-defense, first aid, navigation, and further means of communication that you are definitely going to want to add to this kit, but we didn't want to add anything that seemed too subjective because obviously we don't expect you to go buy Hanes socks or Fruit of Loom underwear. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are actually outside in an emergency for longer than 96 hours, more than likely you are probably injured and or lost, and if you think you're probably going to be one of those people, I would definitely look into further forms of communication and navigation.
Oh my God! Who's there? Oh my gosh.
Mom, what are you doing?
I'm surviving! Wait, how are you still alive?
Mom, why are you out here? It was just a power outage. This is really dumb.
Are you sure? How do I know it's really you? Are you aliens?
Mom, take off the stupid beard. Come home, I'm hungry.
Fine.
She literally does this every time the power goes out.
Yay, we have power.
Ha ha ha!